What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Michiko Tech, where data is a story waiting to be told, and I'm here to help you tell it. In the last video, we opened our real-world dataset, and it was a mess. Today, we start fixing it. We're setting up our workbook like a professional analyst, and then we're going to clean one of the most broken columns in this entire dataset, the amount in USD column. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to look at a messy column completely different. If this sounds good to you, hit that like button, drop a comment below, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming, and let's get into it. Let's go. Alright, before we touch a single cell of data, we need to set up our workbook properly, because here's something most beginners do wrong. They open the dataset and start cleaning directly inside it. That is a disaster waiting to happen. If you make a mistake and can't undo it, your original data is gone forever. So we're going to do what professional data analysts do. We're going to separate everything into dedicated worksheets. Click the plus sign next to the startup funding tab, and that gives you sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 5. We're going to rename all these sheets into different names that we're going to use later. So the first one is raw data, second one is working copy, the third one is lookup tables, the fourth one is analysis, and the last one is dashboard. Here's what each sheet does. Startup funding, the original file. We never touch this ever. Raw data, a backup copy of the original, also untouched. Working copy, this is our workspace. All cleaning happens here. Lookup tables, analysis, dashboard, we'll use this later in the course. Think of startup funding and raw data like evidence in a courtroom. Don't tamper with evidence, you work on a copy. So next we copy data from startup funding to raw data sheet and the working copy sheet. Now we have 3 identical copies of the data, but only one of them is getting cleaned. Working copy. That's our playground. Everything else stays frozen. First thing we are doing in working copy, deleting the remarks column. Why? Because from our profiling report, we already know this column is almost entirely empty. It has no analytical value whatsoever. Now next to the amount in USD column, we're creating a brand new column called amount clean, and this is important. We are not replacing amount in USD, we're working next to it. Amount in USD stays as our original evidence. Amount clean is where our clean numbers would live. Alright, let's start cleaning. Click anywhere in the amount in USD column and press Ctrl plus H to open the find and replace dialog box. In the find what box, type undisclosed. Leave the replace with box completely empty. We're replacing it with nothing, a blank cell. Press find all to find all occurrences of undisclosed. I'm deleting the undisclosed by pressing the backspace key. Just slowly and steady, no rush. And then I go to the next undisclosed and also press a backspace key to delete it. Now hold on, did you notice that the replace affected cells in other columns too, like investor's name? That's something we need to be aware of. When you use find and replace without restricting it to one column, exhaust searches the entire sheet For now, we're noting that and moving on. We'll come back to those columns when it's their turn to be cleaned. Remember, we're only focusing on amount in USD column. Slowly and steady, just getting rid of undisclosed and leaving it blank. Control plus H again. This time we're looking for the plus sign. Remember from our investigation we had one cell that said 14342,000 plus. That plus sign at the end stops Excel from converting it into one number. Type plus in find what box. Leave replace with empty. Then we remove the plus sign by pressing backspace. Gone. Now let's write our formula in amount clean. We are using substitute, which does exactly what it sounds like. It substitutes one thing for another. We want to substitute every comma in amount in USD with nothing, essentially removing all the commas. Equal sign substitute at amount in USD. The comma is replaced with nothing. So there's the output. Press enter and watch Excel fill the entire column automatically because we're working inside an Excel table. The numbers are coming through without commas. Beautiful. But wait, I'm scrolling through the column and something caught my eye. Right there, unknown. See that the formula ran on it, but because unknown has no commas to remove, substitute just left it exactly as it was. Still text, still wrong. So I go back to the original amount in USD cell, double click it, delete unknown. Press enter. And look at amount clean, it automatically goes blank. Now that's what we want, a missing value shown as blank, not as the word unknown. But I'm not assuming that that's the only one. Let me check. Control plus H, search for unknown, replace all, 0 replacements found, we got them all. Now here's where things get interesting. Look at amount clean, the numbers look fine, right? No commas, values are there, but looks can be deceiving in Excel. I'm going to type a formula in an empty cell, is number, and point it at one of our amount clean cells. The result is false. That means Excel is storing these as text, not actual numbers, and you cannot do math on text. No totals, no averages, no pivot tables, nothing. Let me prove something. I type equal sign value 2 million with apostrophes and it gives me back 2 million. Exactly. It looks the same, right? Right. Definitely looks the same. But watch. Equal sign is number, value the same, 2 million with apostrophe, which gives us, wait for it, true. That's the difference between a number that looks like a number and a number that is a number. And just to show you the difference between data types, let me quickly flip between general, number, currency, accounting formats. See how the display changes? That's Excel telling you how it's interpreting the value. So let's fix this. I'm going back to the first cell in amount clean and wrapping value around our substitute formula. Press enter, column fills automatically. Now let me test with is number again. True, that's what we want. Real numbers, not text pretending to be numbers. Okay, let's step back from Excel for a second. This is the profiling report we built before we started cleaning. And I want you to look at this because it tells the full story of this dataset. Amount in USD, critical ones, 959 rows with NA text, 6 rows saying undisclosed, 1 saying unknown, and 1996 rows in Indian comma format. Only 66 rows were actually clean to begin with. Amount clean before we fixed the value issue, 978 rows were showing hash value errors. That's what happens when you apply math to text. Debt, critical, 1744 rows are stored as text strings, not actual debts. There's some really interesting ones. A period instead of a slash, a missing separator, even a 3-digit year. We're going to have fun with that one. Industry vertical, high priority, 822 unique values when we expected about 15 to 20. The same industry spelled 6 different ways. Investment type, high priority, 56 unique values for what should be 8 round types. There's even a typo. Angle finding instead of angel finding. City location, medium. Bangalore instead of Bangalore versus Bengaluru. 841 words split between 2 spellings of the same seed. Remarks already deleted. Startup name, one URL stored as a company name. Will investigate that. Serial number, subvertical, investor's name, mostly clean, minor nulls only. This is the map of everything we still need to fix, and we're tackling it one column at a time. Back to Excel, we have a problem. Adding value fixed our numbers, but now the blank cells are showing hash value errors because value doesn't know what to do with empty cells. Let me show you exactly why this happens. Equal sign value NA will give us, wait for it, will give us a hash value error. Makes sense. You can't convert NA into a number. But watch this. If error value gives us NA, why don't we replace it with blank? It outputs the word blank. If error says if value produces an error, give me this instead. In our case, instead of the word blank, we want a truly empty cell, so we use 2 quote marks with nothing between them. So we are going to add if error outside our value formula. And just like that, every hash value error is now a clean blank cell. Let me explain the formula. Take the amount, remove the commas, convert it to a number. If anything goes wrong, leave it blank. That's it. That's the whole formula. We're not done until we verify. I'm opening the filter on amount clean and scrolling through to check if anything suspicious is still hiding in there. Only numbers, only blanks, no text, no errors, no surprises. Amount clean is clean. Wow, good job everyone. And that right there is what it takes to clean just one column. One column, multiple problems, multiple formulas, multiple verifications, and we have 5 more columns to go. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, because the dead column, that one is going to be wild. See you there.